Hello students, I am Piyush Arora and today we will start with the topic Fundamentals of Java. Today we will discuss about the features of Java and the fundamental concepts of Java, starting with Java character set. So what is a Java character set? Java is based on Unicode character set, which is a 2-byte character code set used for internal representation of characters and strings. It uses 16 bits, that is 2 bytes, to represent each character. Now, what is a Java token? Java tokens are the smallest individual unit in a program, which are known as Java tokens. These are keywords, identifiers, literals, operators, separators, and punctuators. So first we understand what are keywords. These have some specific meaning in Java, which represents statements or function to perform specific tasks. All keywords in Java must be written in small letters, as Java is a case-sensitive language. That is class, void, if, else, switch, case, for, do, while, etc. So the words which are written in red color, these are the keywords, and these will be written with the same set of spellings, and you cannot change the spellings of these, cannot change the case of these, because they have a special meaning and they are also called reserved words. So these are the keywords. Then we come to the next, identifiers or variables. Those quantities which change their values during the program execution are called identifiers or variables. For example, test, total, AVG, A, B, X1, P2, total salary, etc. The rules for defining an identifier are: it must begin with an alphabet, small or capital letter. It should not begin with a digit, and among the characters can be an underscore or a dollar sign. Keywords are not to be used as identifiers. So keywords which are here, these red color words you see, these are the keywords. They cannot be used as identifiers. So make sure that these words are not to be used as identifiers. Others can be used. An identifier can contain letters and digits, but there should be no white space or dot in between. Uppercase and lowercase are distinct. That is, they are separate, they are treated separately. Variables are integer, float, boolean, character or double, etc. types. These are the data types which we will discuss later on as we come further. Then comes literals or constants. Those quantities which do not change their value during the program execution are called literals or constants. They are sequence of characters, that is digits, letters and other characters. Some of the literals are integer literals like 25 minus 231, 6892 minus 568, etc. Floating point literals like 28.99, 2894.65, minus 819.88, 689.50, etc. Character literals like A, capital A, 6, question marks, etc. These are enclosed within single inverted commas. String literals like Samir, computer, 68194, etc. These are multi-character constants and are enclosed within double inverted commas, and Boolean literals are true or false. So these are the literals and constants. Then operators. They are specific symbols used to perform various operations with the help of operands. For example, arithmetic operators like plus, minus, multiplication, division, percent sign. This is for modulus or taking the remainder. Relational operators like greater than, less than, greater than, equal to, less than, equal to, not equal to. Logical operators and or. This is or symbol, this is and symbol. Increment operators like plus plus, decrement operator like minus minus, assignment operators like equal to, unary, binary, ternary operators like question mark, etc. Then we come to some separators or punctuators. They are a specific symbol used to indicate how group of codes are divided and arranged. They perform the tasks like compound statements, separating variables, etc. For example, square brackets, then curly brackets, and parentheses or the round brackets, then semicolon, then comma, and then dot. Some applications of separators are int a is equal to new int. This is to declare an array. Int a is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is to initialize the array with the numbers. For x is equal to 1, x less than equal to 20, x plus plus. This is to declare a loop with 1 to 20 times repetition, and system out println x to print the value of the control variable x from the loop. So here we use the round brackets or parentheses. Here also we are using the round brackets or parentheses. These are the square brackets and these are the curly brackets here. So you see the application of various types of brackets in this part of the program. Then little bit of homework. You just write down the answers of these. What are tokens? What is meant by a variable? Explain the kinds of variables. What rules one should follow when declaring variables? What are literals and their types? What are operators and separators? Now we come to the next topic, that is called data types in Java. To identify the types of data involved in an operation is known as data type. There are two categories of data types. Number one, primitive, that is fundamental data type, which are called predefined or intrinsic. Number two, non-primitive data types, derived or reference. So first we try to understand what is primitive data type. These data types are which automatically load into the memory as soon as the Java program runs, like byte, short, int, long, float, double, character, boolean. And non-primitive data types are formed with the help of primitive data types. That is, in other words, they are the group of primitive data types, that is like class or arrays. Variable or identifier declaration. How to declare a variable? So naming a variable along with the data types is known as variable declaration. For example, if we want to declare a variable a, we will first use the data type int and then use the variable name a along with the semicolon. Int b, int total, comma avg. Two variables can also be declared together like this, or single variable like this. Float x, double sum, character and boolean flag. So these are the declaration of the variables or identifier with the data type. Assigning value to the variable or variable initialization. Declaration int a, then assigning a is equal to 93. Then declaration float x, x is equal to 869.66. Then declaration character p, then p is equal to u, this is the assignment. U is in single quotes. Declaration boolean flag, flag is equal to true. So this is either true or false. So we can directly write true or false in the flag variable, which is of boolean data type. Assigning expressions, declaration int abc. Now three variables are there, abc. We are assigning the values. A is equal to 19, b is equal to 16, c is equal to a plus b. So the value of c will be stored as 35 in the memory and a and b are 19 and 16 respectively. Now a simple Java program, class sum of two numbers, curly brackets, void sum, curly brackets, int abc, a is equal to 13, b is equal to 47, c is equal to a plus b, system out println c. Now when you run this program on the computer, you will get the output as 60 because the sum of 13 and 47 is 60. Another example with more meaningful result will be class sum of two numbers, void add, int x, y, z, x is equal to 86, y is equal to 14, z is equal to x plus y, system out println sum of x and y is equal to z. So what is this? This is a formatted output which will give you the output like this. Sum of 86 and 14 is 100. So this looks more meaningful and understandable as compared to the previous program where only the answer is being printed, the number is being printed as 60, but here full message is also being printed. So this is more meaningful. Now homework, you will do these programs at your home. Try out these programs by looking at these examples here. To add three numbers and find their sum, to add two numbers and find their average, to multiply three numbers and find the product, to divide 51 by 3 and find the quotient, to print your name 5 times. So this is the topic and we end here. I hope you must have understood the topics, both the topics, that is the fundamentals of Java and the data types in Java. Now students, we come to the topic of data type conversions. This is an important topic. The process of changing one data type to another data type is known as data type conversion or typecasting. There are two types of data conversions: explicit type conversion, implicit type conversion, that is called Gaussian. Explicit type conversion. This type of conversion is done explicitly by the programmer to change the higher priority data type into a lower priority data type, that is float to int, double to float or int, long to int, or int to character. This is called explicit data type conversion from higher to lower. Like float m is equal to 20.66 and int x is equal to brackets int m. This is called explicit conversion. In brackets we are using int, so that means the value of m, which is 20.66, will get converted to integer value of x, which will be only 20.66. The decimal part will be removed or truncated. Fine. This results in loss of data as x is 20 and 0.66 is left out. Then implicit type conversion. This is called coercion, is done automatically by the compiler and used to convert smaller, that is low priority data type to higher priority data type, that is called int to float or float to double, character to int or int to long. This is called type promotion also. Suppose we have int x is equal to 99, we can say float a is equal to x. So the value of x, which is 99, gets converted into float, which becomes 99.0. This is called type promotion. So this is about the implicit type conversion. Then these are some of the data types and their sizes. Byte takes 1 byte in the memory. Short data type takes 2 bytes. Int 4 bytes. Long 8 bytes. Float 4 bytes. Double 8 bytes. Character 2 bytes. And boolean 1 byte, but actually it takes only 1 bit to store either true or false. So from the above table you can understand the order of priority of data types. This is the smaller to the higher. This is the smaller data type, bigger, 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 and so on. This is how it is given here. And now we give the values to variables or variable initialization. The variable initialization can be done in two ways. To assign actual value to pre-declared variable, that is int a, float t, character h. Now three variables are declared. Now we assign the values. A is equal to 16, t is equal to 66.35, h is equal to m in single quotes, which is of character type. And to assign the actual value during the variable declaration directly, that is called int b is equal to 24. Now here we are declaring the variable as well as we are assigning the value also to it. We are declaring the variable t, float t, and assigning the value 93.29 to it. So this is called direct initialization, or you can say dynamic initialization, where we directly assign the value while declaring the variable. Character ch is equal to y. So this is one way of assigning the values while declaring. This is another way of assigning the values. First declare the variable separately and declare the values, or you can say assigning the values separately. Here directly we are doing together. Operators. An operator is a special symbol that is used to perform various mathematical and logical manipulations and calculations. These are divided into following categories: arithmetic, relational, logical, conditional, assignment, increment or decrement. These are 6 types of operators. Arithmetic operators, these are plus, minus, multiplication, division and percent sign, which is for modulus or finding the remainder. Relational operators, these are greater than, less than, equal to, greater than, equal to, double, equal to, less than or not equal to. Logical operators are and, or, and not. Conditional, that is ternary operator, this is question mark. Assignment operator are equal to, plus, equal to, minus, equal to, into, equal to, that is multiplication equal to, division equal to, and percent equal to. Now for example, a is equal to 3 means a is 3, the value of a is 3. A plus equal to 3 means a is equal to a plus 3. This is the expression actually, and so a will become 6 because a was 3 earlier. So 3 will be added to the previous value of a, which will become 6. If we say a minus equal to 3 after this, then that means a is equal to a minus 3. So a will become 3 again because it had become 6, but now it is reduced to 3 because 3 is deducted from 6, so it becomes 3 again. A into equal to 3 means a is equal to a into 3. So a will become 9 and its previous value was 3. So therefore 3 into 3 becomes 9. A division equal to 3 means a is equal to a by 3. So the value of a will become 3 again because 9 upon 3, the quotient will be given and the value of a will become 3. A percent equal to 3 means a is equal to a percent 3. That means the value of a is 3 and 3 upon 3, the remainder, that is you divide 3 by 3 and the remainder will be 0. So this is the modulus or the remainder which you will get. So the answer will be 0. Increment or decrement operator. The operators used to increase the value of variable by 1 is known as increment operator. The operator used to decrease the value of variable by 1 is known as decrement operator. So increasing the value known as increment operator, decreasing the value known as decrement operator. These are plus plus and minus minus. Now we understand the analogy of these operators by the examples. Increment operator, int d is equal to 9. We write d plus plus or plus plus d, so d will become 10 as the value has increased by 1. Again, if we write again with d plus plus or plus plus d, the value had become 10. Now again we add, so it will become 11 because it has increased by 1. Now we use decrement operator. We say int d is equal to 9. D minus minus or minus minus d, so it will be decreased by 1. So d will become 8 because it decreases by 1. Again d minus minus or minus minus d, again it will be reduced by 1, so it will become 7, further decreases by 1. So here d plus plus is using postfix operator and plus plus d is using prefix operator, and minus minus and d minus minus also prefix and postfix. So if operator is used before the operand, then it is called prefix operator, and if the operator is used after the operand, it is called postfix operator. Both are doing the same job, increment or decrement. So precedence operators. Precedence means we have to understand the priority it takes for calculation when given in combination of various operators. So first order is parenthesis. You must have understood the BODMAS concept in your mathematics, where brackets, then of, then division, then multiplication, then addition, then subtraction takes place. Same concept is used here also. So we can understand this by this table. First is brackets, then the increment or decrement operators are calculated, then multiplication, division or percentage are calculated, then plus or minus are calculated, then greater than, less than, relational operators are calculated, then assignment operators are calculated, then these and or, that is logical operators are calculated, then ternary operator, and then the last one is the assignment operator is taken care of. So this is how the precedence or the priority takes place while calculating the expression in Java. Then expressions in Java. An expression is a valid combination of variables and constant operators, which are these arithmetical operations, expressions. First is arithmetic expression, second is relational expression, third is logical expression. Three types of expressions are there in Java. First we will understand the arithmetic expression. For example, a plus b, a minus b into c, a plus b into c minus d, 3 plus 4 into 5 upon 7, 48% 7. These are some examples for arithmetical expressions used in Java, how they are written and the result is obtained. Then comes relational expressions, a greater than b, a less than b, a double equal to means a equal to b, m not equal to n, 5 greater than 8, b less than equal to 6, etc. So the result is obtained in the relational expression as true or false. Then logical expressions, a greater than b and m less than equal to 3, 9 equal to 7 or a not equal to 13, a less than b and a less than c, age greater than equal to 20 and age less than equal to 60, age less than 5 or age greater than 60. These are some logical expressions. These are combination of relational operators, and these are more than one conditions being used together in combination, either using and or. The result is obtained either true or false. Then we come to the output functions, print and print line. These are two functions, print and print line. Both of them have separate or different operations used for different purposes. First we will understand what is print command. This method function is used to display the value of any variable or message both on the output, and the control waits on the same line till the next instruction is encountered. The control does not shift to the next line automatically. For example, system out print message value, message value, message value. This is a syntax where you give the command system.out.print statement, and in brackets you give the message or the value in continuation with one another if more than one are there. Otherwise single message or value can be also put in the brackets. We have an example, int age is equal to 50, system.out.print I am plus age plus years old, int x is equal to 19, system.out.print my son is x plus years old. Now this type of program, if run on the computer, will give you the answer I am 50 years old, my son is 19 years old in a single line. Why? Because I am using system out print and system out print. So the first line gets connected with the the second line and the output is obtained as in the single line. So this is the outcome of the system.out.print command or print statement, which is used as a single line output. Now we come to the second one, that is print line. This method function is used to display the output and the control shifts automatically to the new line after the execution of the statement. Syntax: system out print line, message or value, message or value, message or value, and in between plus sign is used. Plus sign is a separator which demarcates between the constant value and the variable value. That is, age is a variable and I am years old are constant. So again, int age is equal to 50, system out print line I am age years old. Int x is equal to 19, system out print line my son is x years old. Now when we run this program on the computer, we will get answers in two different lines because print line is used, and print line takes the cursor to the next line. It doesn't hold on to the previous line, as was the case of print command where the answer was given to you in the single line, but here it will be given in two separate lines. I am 50 years old, my son is 19 years old. So this is about the print and print line commands. So I hope you must have understood the concept of print and print line and the difference in between. Now wherever you want to use print, you will use system out print. You want to get the output in a single line or separate lines, then you will use print line. Other things remain same. So this is the concept of print and print line commands. I have explained you the data type conversions, increment and decrement operators, relational operators. Some of the examples also I have covered. So this is the end of my session, and we will continue with the new topics further in the next session. Thank you.